Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So things are getting pretty festive here, and probably the biggest Christmas present of all for Jurassic Park fans has landed. It's the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom full trailer. Last week we had loads of teasers building up to the release of the trailer, and now it's finally out. If you haven't seen the trailer already, link is down below. Go and check it out before you listen to this discussion. But my reaction personally was mainly positive. I thought it was a really entertaining trailer, action-packed, full of spectacle, and Colin Trevorrow has said that it focuses on the first 57 minutes of the film. So we're only seeing a trailer for the first half, and that's important to note because I didn't feel like the story developed any further than the volcano blowing up, and then that was kind of the end of the trailer. So that's important information because there's a whole other half of the film that we're yet to find out about. And I have to say, this first half of the film feels like a parallel with The Lost World Jurassic Park, which is one of my favourite films. It's probably my second favourite Jurassic Park film, which is great. And there's a massive parallel between Owen and Claire and Ian Malcolm and Sarah Harding. You've got that tension in the relationship that Ian and Sarah had because now Owen and Claire have broken up. You've got the fact that Claire is going to rescue the dinosaurs. Sarah Harding had a similar preservation and kind of wanting to study the animals stance. So you've got that match in terms of the dynamic. Then also you've got a match for Sarah Harding and Nick Van Owen going to release the dinosaurs in the Lost World. You've got a scene where Owen and Claire are actually opening up the doors to a huge trailer with the T-Rex inside, and from looking at a shot earlier on where you see lots of dinosaurs in a cargo hold of what looks like a big boat, it seems like they're going to be releasing the dinosaurs on a big cargo boat. So that for me instantly reminds me of The Lost World. Funnily enough, the trailer actually opens with an image of a record being turned on in a jukebox, and I didn't know if this was supposed to be a metaphor for the trailer, but I do feel like we're playing the record of the Lost World in the first half of the film at least. So that's cool to see because I really like the Lost World. I feel it's a very underrated chapter, so it's cool to see that they're making lots of references to that film. And I hope that the second half kind of proves the distinctiveness of this film and what this film has to say as opposed to just, you know, calling back to the Lost World. I feel like the nostalgia parts of Jurassic World were really effective, so actually having a similar level of nostalgia in the second film for the Lost World might work really well. I love the way that the island is kind of falling apart. It's got vines, it's overgrown, and then you've got shots like that Brachiosaurus just wandering through it. I just think that's wonderful. And in a way, it's just taking stock of the beauty of dinosaurs again, which is something I felt we didn't get enough of in Jurassic World, so it's cool to see those moments. Also, I really like the shot with the Compsognathus where it's static, like it's one of the toys, and then suddenly the Compsognathus springs to life. That shot for me felt like some parts of Jurassic Park 3, which were really effective. Like in Jurassic Park 3, there's a part where a raptor runs out of focus behind Tia Leone, and that was just a really novel shot, and this had a similar feeling to it, where the dinosaurs just spring to life in a very unexpected and surprising way. So yeah, I really loved those two shots. The Brachiosaurus and the Compsognathus were probably my two favourite shots in the whole trailer. You've got Blue and Owen being reunited. Interestingly, Blue is standing on the old Ford Explorer from the original Jurassic Park. That's a really nice callback, and also it kind of redeems the artwork that Steve Englert did for Jurassic World. He did like a stylized poster, which was a teaser for the film coming out, and people kind of got on at Colin saying that, why didn't this shot appear in Jurassic World? Well, here it is. Now it's in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, so it's nice to see that kind of correction made down the line. I think I would prefer to have some wild raptors in there somewhere, but you know, this is only the trailer, so maybe we've got that yet to come. But I get the feeling that maybe the only raptor we're going to see is Blue. And Blue, you know, I have to be honest, the attraction of the raptors to me is the fear factor. I love the fact that they're these ruthless bloodthirsty, cold killing machines. And that kind of fear that they created in the kitchen in the original Jurassic Park is what I'm really, hungry for in terms of the raptors. So Blue doesn't really do that for me, but I'm glad that we saw this callback to the Ford Explorer and seeing more of the old park. So yeah. What else? Let's try and think. There was the introduction of 2 teams in the trailer. So you've got Claire's group, which are obviously going to rescue the dinosaurs, and then it seems like there is another group that will be taking the dinosaurs for exploitative purposes. They're the group that you see in the cargo hold with the shipping containers and the cages containing the Stegosaurus. Whether they are the same team as the rescue group and they've just turned nasty, we'll have to wait and see. But I get the feeling that there are 2 teams, which again is another parallel to The Lost World. I think the visual effects are looking really good for a film that's kind of a work in progress. I think the T-Rex likeness has been improved massively from Jurassic World. It seems like they've really worked on getting the T-Rex to look more like the original Rexy that we know and love. I do feel, however, the body is a little bit exaggerated in terms of its anatomy, and some people have said she looks emaciated because she's elderly. That's fine, but I think that the Jurassic World Evolution game trailer actually sculpted her form better, and she did look quite aged in that one as well, in a kind of superficial way. Her skin was much more grey and sort of older looking, but the actual anatomy of the T-Rex looked much more true to the Rexy that we know and love. And part of me would have liked to have seen the T-Rex looking that accurate. But I understand it's a hard line to straddle, because they've got to get it halfway between classic Rex, but also stay true to the Rex that we saw in Jurassic World, which for me wasn't accurate at all. But they've got to kind of keep enough similarity to that film to kind of follow on from it. And I mean, that shot is epic, where the T-Rex is roaring and standing over that Carnotaurus. And the Carnotaurus, I mean, that's cool to see, a dinosaur that we've loved in toy version for years. That's a really nice, nod to the fans. So yeah, a really cool trailer, some really epic shots in there. I think, to be honest, I preferred the quieter shots over the spectacle. I think I preferred the first half of the trailer. We also had the introduction of Ian Malcolm. Now, this is great. He really gives a backbone to this trailer. Everyone loves Jeff Goldblum. Everyone loves Ian Malcolm's character. One of the things I noticed about him in this trailer is that his voice has changed. It's kind of gone into this very, almost like a weak sounding, high-pitched voice, very softly spoken, very calm. And I feel like Jeff Goldblum has reinvented the character yet again. In Jurassic Park, he was a very cocky, self-assured Ian Malcolm. In this chapter, he feels like a very weak, vulnerable Ian Malcolm, who's had to deal with a lot. He's gone through a lot of trauma. And if you think back to how he was in The Lost World, he was very assertive and quite cynical because of what had happened to him in Jurassic Park. So he's obviously gone through this evolution in his life, where now he's still got that cynicism, but he's almost like he's worn down by all the trauma, and he just feels very vulnerable in his voice, I found, and it was almost chilling to hear him talking that way. So yeah, really excited to see Jeff Goldblum back in this film, and for me, that's probably the thing I'm going to look forward to most. Even though we know that his screen time is probably going to be very small, that scene with Jeff Goldblum is something I've been wanting ever since, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I just think he's such a strong character, and I think it will actually appeal to fans and people who just love Jeff Goldblum. I think it's going to really pull in the crowds just because he's in it for such a short segment. My only fear is maybe when people go and see it, they'll say, Jeff Goldblum was in the trailer. Well, he's only in it for 5 minutes. And that might, upset some people. But for me, I'm just glad we've got anyone back from the original franchise. And if Jeff Goldblum's pull is the reason that people will go back and see this film, hopefully the director, J.A. Boone, and the creators, Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly, will kind of see that having these key cast members back is such a pull for the audience. So it'd be great to maybe have some more in the next chapter. Okay guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do leave a comment down below. In the meantime guys, rate, comment and subscribe.